Welcome to another JDM Brigade video. It's obviously me, Callum, and these are my Japanese 15mm bolt action models that I have painted up. So in the last video you'll have seen me unbox a bunch of this stuff, and now I've got a couple of units painted with an aim to playing some 15mm bolt action, hopefully this weekend. Or this weekend coming. I do need to get a bit more done, and I'll show you those in a moment, but first let's have a look at what I've actually finished. So, right here we have 8 Imperial Japanese Army Island Warfare Troopers or something like that. They've all got rifles. You can see obviously my NCO has the green hat because that's how you designate a leader. Now, what I will say is these won't be the most historically accurately painted Japanese 15mm models you'll have ever seen, but they're loosely there, and that's all that really matters to me. So my NCOs have green hats because it's an appropriately drab colour. Now the paint scheme I've gone for is Rhinox hide for the helmet and the boots, Zandri dust for the overalls, which I've airbrushed on for speed, and then it's it is Vallejo mahogany brown or something for the guns. Basically just painted the top parts with black metal from scale 75. And then you might be able to see I've done some very small red stripes on their shoulders, possibly visible on this chap here. I don't know how well it's going to show up. It's on there, trust me, it's on there. And that's basically my way of denoting who's what. So my Island Warfare guys, 2 red stripes. Keeps it nice and simple for me then. And I might even have like a squad marking on there eventually too. So like I say, this is just 8 rifles. I wanted to do that because it's simple to remember how to play. And I quite like how it looks, just plain, to be honest with you. Going to move on now, because these guys are pretty mundane. But they'll be fun to play with, I'm sure. On to the first tank, or should I say tankette, for the Force. Again, ultra basic paint job. I think it took me about 15 minutes all in. Is a Type 95 hard go light tank, I think. Another one from the Flames of War Battlefront miniatures, along with all these guys actually. Bit of an unusual kit because it was part metal, part resin, but easy to put together. 2 tracks on either side, and obviously paint wise I've kept it really simple. I've not done any of the yellow lines. I don't like them. I think they look poo. I've done a Zandri dust base coat. I've gone in with some Rhinox hide through the airbrush. I've done some wild flesh through the airbrush, picked out some metallics and slapped it with an Agrax wash that's pulled nicely. I think I might chuck some powders in here and on the bases too, just to sort of hide some of the laziness and also to add a bit of texture. And I've used Typhus Corrosion on the tracks, which is a classic technique from the Heresy stuff I've done that Harry showed me. Should be really fun. I like the way this looks, and that's basically, you just have to remember this entire army for me is a cabinet army. And that's all it'll ever be really, and I might play some games with it, but its primary function is to sit on a shelf. What I didn't show you actually on this side here was I've also done the little pouches and stuff in Steel Legion drab, just a different shade of brown. I kept everything like brown. I wanted it to be quite muted. And lastly, we have my First Lieutenant and his customary veteran pal. The First Lieutenant is the guy on the right with the sword, or probably a katana or something similar. Please don't get all history buff on me. It's a sword. And then they've both got rifles as well, just to keep it nice and simple. No sort of mucking about. I wanted it to be what you see is what you get. Now, to denote that they are leaders of some kind, they have red stripes down the middle of their brown helmets. Now, this chap here, my little veteran, has a white dot. Now, it looks like they both have white dots, but you'll see as I turn that round, that's just the light. And this one actually does have a white dot. I kind of did that because I thought, oh, that'd be nice. Just something to denote the veterans. And I thought, oh, that would look good as a medic, actually. So I might just find a medic model and give him a white stripe or something, just so that it's a bit... Again, same painting technique. The skin tone is... I think his left flesh and then a wash. Everything gets agraxed, and that's what ties the whole thing together. Without agrax, it would look pretty dire. Now, for basing material, it's the first time I've ever used Vallejo's acrylic thick mud. Dead happy with how it's come out. Like really genuinely chuffed. You can see some sterling mud remnants here from me doing my lizardman, and that was less than fun. The thick mud is much easier to apply, and I actually prefer the look. It also doesn't crumble off. And then with chuck a couple of powders on there, and I think maybe some tufts, some grassy tufts. For Harry's found some 15mm scale ones that I'll be nabbing off the internet. I think it could be really fun. That's what I've finished at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of pause the recording and then really sort of dramatically jump to a scene where you'll see what's coming up next. So if I can just, I can totally do this. Watch this. Just like that, a seamless transition. So, actually it's probably pretty seamed. This is what's up next for me then. What I have here are 8 more Island Warfare Riflemen. The light is pretty harsh, so I'm just going to see if I can move my hand in the way or something. Just a bit of a, I don't know, you get the picture. It's 8 more dudes with rifles, led by another NCO who will have a green beret. I really like these Flames of War Battlefront miniatures. That was weird. But I really like them. They've come out really nice. Some of the faces are a bit pitted from pewter casting. I know that's not always perfect. But the reality is that you can't really see much of the detail at 15mm scale. And the detail you can see is actually pretty good on these models. Some bendy bayonets that I've been able to sort of fandoogle just by bending the pewter in a room temperature. So really easy to work with and should be really good fun. And hopefully, I'm thinking they'll pack easily because they're tiny. And it'll be exactly the same paint scheme as before. Let me just pull this guy in for comparison. So it'll be another 8 of those, which I think will look really cool. I like having symmetrical squads, not just from a gameplay perspective, but also from a visual perspective. Just does it for me. I like symmetry. And then the last thing I'm going to work on in the meantime is a sniper team, which you also can't see because it's very bright. If I hold them upside down, you get a better look. It's basically 2 prone guys from the set of oh hello, knocking the camera. There we go. It's 2 prone guys from the set. Oh Lord, having a nightmare. From Battlefront, really small, obviously, but super cool. Couple of different poses. They only have a very limited amount of posing for these guys, unfortunately. Almost hit a sweet spot there. Again, they'll just be caked in mud, and I might do some like webbing or something just to, or like some, I don't know. We'll see how I go. Certainly going to paint them, and then I might try and get hold of some webbing that I can just lay over the top of them, so it looks like they're kind of stealthy, I guess. So the idea here is I've got a sniper team, and the reason I picked these like 4 or 5 units to start is because that's basically a small bolt action force. I'll then have something I can use to play with, and after that it's just painting what I've got left. Everything is being kept in little baggies. So I like putting these little projects in bags. Everything's based, and what I've got left are a couple of bigger squads, some mortars, and a couple more characters because I want a first and a second lieutenant available in my mind. That just seems right, you know. Like I just feel like you'd have that. So that's it for this update, and hopefully there'll be another one not in the not too distant future. I appreciate it's been quite a while since we've had a video. Life has been busy. In short, without getting into too much detail, both of us have been extremely busy. Other videos will be coming up on the channel because I've been working on some fantasy models, which has been fun. You know, hobbying, beavering away in the background is probably what I've been doing for the hobby. I've not really shared a lot, but hopefully we'll get a bit more out of me and a bit more out of Harry because he has finished his Blitzkrieg Germans, and it'll be nice to see that full collection showcase because he has just batched them out like an absolute demon. So that's it from me. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I appreciate it's been pretty quick. And there's not been a great deal, but I have made progress on these Japanese guys. I thought it would be nice to share. So, with that, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again soon, and all the best. And I hope you're all staying safe in this rather difficult and testing time. Bye for now, I suppose.